This course mostly focuses on organic marketing strategies that are free, but a lot of people do ask about ads, and it's a common early question among entrepreneurs, so we're going to focus on it a little bit. I'm going to give you my best overview of it without getting into too many details because, again, this is not specifically an ads course, but because...
This video is brought to you by EpiPies Academy.
Organic marketing strategies can take some time, and entrepreneurs deal with stress because they get no traffic, what to do. And so there is a really common impulse of buying ads. And ads have a very compelling promise because, of course, you want to put $1 in and advertise for $1 and hopefully get $2 out. And if you can do that, you can run unlimited ads and grow your business that way. No need for organic strategies. The main problem is that you put $1 in and you get a penny out. In most situations, it's really hard to run ads profitably because most of the ads are expensive. It's hard to create ads that are effective at conversion and so on and so on. There's just a lot of challenges with them. Of course, if you listen to pseudo experts or fake experts on YouTube, they're going to send you to do Facebook ads and blah, blah, blah. But actually, most of the time, you have to be a lot more conservative. So I am usually very conservative and careful about recommending ads to my clients and to my students because, if you just blindly run ads, it's like the fastest way to lose money. So I would recommend to wait for at least two things. And that is, first, you have to know your lifetime value of a customer, sometimes denoted by LTV. And you only get to know that after being in business for a while. You only can know how much money you can spend on ads after you know how much your average customer brings you. And it's not just their initial purchase, it's how many purchases they make during their customer lifespan, or at least their first 6 months or their first year, or at least a month. And of course, you always have to maximize that. Maximizing your LTV will not only make your ads profitable, will make your business profitable. It's just a good practice for your business. And the second thing you have to do before you run ads is make sure that your website or your sales funnel or wherever you're driving your traffic to is actually well made and highly converting. And one mistake I see early entrepreneurs make is they create the ads themselves. I would recommend to go on a freelancing site and hire a designer to create the visuals for you and the ads materials, because if you create an ad or like a video or a image that's just not very attractive because you're not a designer and you just made it kind of by hacking it, but it doesn't look great, it's going to decrease the effectiveness of the ad. Now, what kind of ads should you run? There are so many options, right? Facebook ads, Google ads, LinkedIn ads, YouTube ads, too many options. There's one no-brainer, and that is retargeting ads. These are ads, if you're not familiar with that term, you've seen these ads being shown to you a lot of times on the web. These are basically like if you go to Amazon.com or any other big website, and whether you buy or not, if once you leave that site, for some reason you go on Facebook and then you see an ad for that company shown to you on Facebook. Then you go somewhere else on the web and then you see that ad shown to you. That company whose site you originally visited is running a retargeting ad that is trying to bring you back to their site. These ads are very good because they target what's called warm leads. They target people who've already been on their site, have shown some interest because they've been on their site. And these kinds of ads are typically cheaper to run and are more effective because they draw warm leads. And usually you can't spend that much money running these ads anyway because they only target people who have already been on your website. So it's not like it's going to get shown to millions of people. Most likely you have a relatively small audience who've already visited your site, so you're not going to break the bank running these ads. And you can run retargeting ads on Facebook, Google, Instagram, all the major popular platforms. There's other kinds of ads. Some people just want to run ads to boost their engagement for their posts on social media or something like that. There's two benefits of that. First, of course, you get a little bit of a boost for your SEO if your social posts get shared more, get seen more, have more activity. So it's actually an indirect SEO benefit. But also it's good for your branding. If you have a Facebook page and every post has 0 likes, 0 comments, it doesn't look good. But if you run a little bit of ads to get some likes and to get some comments, or if you have Instagram and like you boost your posts a little bit to get a little engagement, then it suddenly makes your Facebook page or Instagram look much more attractive. So it makes your personal brand look like it has more engagement. And then next people who come, they see, wow, there's a lot of engagement here, must be interesting. And they'll be more likely to follow you as well. And so that actually will help you organically and naturally grow your social media account. And a lot of people ask, well, can I just buy like 1,000 or 10,000 Instagram followers or Facebook fans or likes from some agency that sells fake likes? There's really almost no need to do that, because you can run engagement ads for very, very cheap, for pennies, sometimes for a cent, if you run ads to countries where advertising isn't expensive. So for example, if you advertise in United States or the Western world, the ads are very competitive, so they're expensive. But if you advertise, and I'm sorry for the term, like in third world countries, and I don't like using that term, but there's just not a good way there's no other good term to use this. So like maybe countries that are very, very impoverished. Of course, advertisers aren't bidding to run their ads there. So you can run ads there for pennies and get a lot of engagement very cheaply, and your account will look like it has a lot of activity. So that way you get actual real people to engage with your brand, and you don't need to go to some fake agencies to buy fake likes or followers or anything like that. These would be real people at least. Now let's talk about other types of ads. Just to make it easier to understand, I would separate the different ads into two categories. Push ads that you just show to people who are cold leads and you don't know much about them, or you think you do, but at the end of the day, it's hard to know like if they're really shopping. Or pull ads. So there's pull versus push. The pull is usually when they're searching. When they're typing something into the search engine, they're telling the search engine two things: what they want and when they want it. So we know a lot about them. We don't have to guess. If you guess, oh, my potential customers are between 40 and 50 years old and they like sports and they don't like this and that, those are guesses more or less. But the search-based paradigms, there's a lot of things you know for a fact because they're literally putting that into the search engine. So when you look at ads on YouTube, YouTube has search and you can run search ads. Those are fantastic. Search I like for a lot of types of things because these people, we already know what they want and the timing is perfect for them, especially for people who are shopping for something. And you can also run display ads, kind of just showing your ad before other videos play. I like those a little less, but search-based ads I like. And overall, YouTube is very cheap per view. You can get a lot of views for pennies. On the other hand, LinkedIn, these ads are expensive. It often costs dollars per click. And for most businesses, they're rarely used. But if you target some kind of a B2B situation, that might be applicable for you. But in most cases, they are not a high priority. Of course, Google search is probably the most popular type of ad that there is. It's good because, again, you know what the people want. And for that reason, they're really good leads. But it can be very expensive in most niches, dollars per click very often. And of course, there's a different kind of a Google search type of ad specifically for products. I'm going to quickly show you what those are so you know what I'm talking about. I just searched for a product-based search. For example, I said, buy grout cleaning product. Grout is just it's just a specific cleaning. So what you see here is these pictures. They look like Google images almost, but they're not. You see, it says sponsored. These are actually ads for products. And if you look at it, you'll see Bloomingdale's, Amazon.com. So essentially, these are actually product ads. So if you sell a product on your site, it's very likely that these ads can work for you. And these are Google Shopping ads. You see on the bottom here, these are typical Google ads. So I'm not saying that for products you should run these kinds of ads, but certainly these kinds of ads. These are specifically made if you are selling something and you can check out on your site. Also, a lot of people ask about Facebook ads. That's the very hot topic today. Of course, you have to understand the difference between Facebook ads from a page and from a group. If you have a Facebook group, you cannot run ads. If you have a Facebook page, you can run Facebook ads from Facebook pages. Typically, pages have less organic engagement on posts, and groups have more organic engagement on posts, but you cannot run ads to the groups. So you have to populate groups in different ways. But for Facebook pages, like a business page, you can run ads from there. And of course, Facebook owns Instagram, so you can run Facebook and Instagram ads from the same setup. It would be the Facebook ad manager. You can just Google for that. The problem with Facebook is that you don't know if the timing is right for your customer. Kind of the same as LinkedIn. You can target them, sure, but maybe they'll see your ad when they're in line in a store or they're watching some cat video. You have no idea. You don't know if they're shopping, like for example, socks. How many times are people shopping for socks per year? Maybe a couple of times a year, maybe a total of like 30 minutes per year. So it's impossible to get a timing right with Facebook, but you get the timing right perfectly every time with Google. And that's why I tend to always prefer Google-based ads and search-based ads. And that's why I always prefer search-based ads if they're applicable. And of course, you want to ease into ads. Don't overspend right away and experiment, because just plowing into it and running ads is most likely going to not be profitable. Where ads become profitable is like a multi-layered approach where you really figure out your targeting, then retarget, and then hone in on your target market, and then eventually kind of have like a multi-layered, multi-ad type of situation where you hit your potential customers with multiple kinds of ads at multiple times, and then they warm up to you and then they engage, especially on social media. On search-based paradigms, it's different, because if they're shopping and searching for something, they're more ready to buy, but still, it's more complicated than other people make it out to seem. So experimenting slowly and being persistent with it long term, you'll get it right and you'll run ads profitably. But just trying it, losing a couple $100 and then quitting, that just doesn't get anyone far. So hopefully that's been a good ad overview for you, so that you can know what to expect from each kind of ad and when to run them.